Wednesday the 10th of August 2011. Welcome to today's United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon, and it seems wrong to just sit here and talk about mundane things today, as I usually do. Regular viewers and listeners to the show will know that the show's recorded one day ahead. So for me, it's now Tuesday afternoon. Of course, for you, it's now Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. And we've had 2 nights of rioting in the streets of London, particularly bad on Monday night. And it's the first time I remember ever being sent home from work. I started a karaoke night at 9 o'clock at night at Belushi's in Hammersmith, where I am every Monday night. And the general manager was off. He's usually there on a Monday. He was off Monday. And one of the bar staff was in charge, the lovely Jess. And all of a sudden, Governor turned up at about 10 o'clock, and I thought, that's strange. Already, we do have some plasma screens in the pub, and we were aware of terrible disturbances in other parts of London. Places that I have lived and worked. Peckham. I was brought up there until 1969, and it was a really nice place to live. And it's just gone down and down over the years. That was one of the places where riots were on Monday night, but it was by no means the only place. They were everywhere. Another area that I work in, Clapham, that had riots going on in it. But there were also disturbances in Fulham and Shepherd's Bush. Now, Fulham and Shepherd's Bush, Hammersmith is right in the middle of those two. And it was decided by the governor at about 10:30 to close the pub, and he sent everyone home. One of the things, his name's Dustin, nice bloke. He's got his own ideas. He's a very strong manager. And he sent me home, and everyone else, and the customers, of course, and kindly still paid me the full amount for the night, which he didn't have to do, and I told him he didn't have to do that. He said no. He said that's which was very fair. But it's very sad. It's very, very sad to see the city that one's been brought up in torn apart by thugs. And this was nothing to do with someone being shot. Someone was shot in Tottenham by the police apparently last Thursday. Last week, I think it was Thursday. There was a peaceful protest outside the police station because of this, and it's that turned into the first riot. That was on Sunday. And Monday, it just spread like wildfire. There was a massive fire in Croydon. There were places being burnt in Ealing, Clapham, all over the place. And it's frightening. The police, who I've got a great deal of time for, did what they could, but the limited numbers. And these people are just thugs. The riots, certainly after the Tottenham one, the riots on a Monday were nothing to do with anyone getting shot. There was nothing to do with any racial thing or anything like that. They were from all walks and races of life. This was just total anarchy, and I've never seen anything like this here in the UK. We had poll tax riots years and years ago in the 80s, but they were very different. There was a reason that people were rioting. Do you see what I mean? And the poll tax, if you don't know, well, this was a thing that Margaret Thatcher tried to introduce. And instead of taxing everyone's house, okay, so say, for example, my house was taxed £900 a year. Instead of that, each person in the house was taxed. So if, like me, you were living on your own, your tax for that year would come down. But any house that had more than one person in it would pay more. in a way, it was fairer, so that everyone paid the same amount. But in reality, most houses, I think, have more than one person in them. So they were going to have to pay more. People with 4 or 5 people, houses with 4 or 5 people, was going to cost them an absolute fortune. So there was a reason for the rioting. But this time, this is just acts of total anarchy and thuggery. I saw a video of just someone walking down Hurst Street in Birmingham that someone put up on Facebook. And this bloke was walking along, and a bloke went up to him in a hoodie and started slapping him round a bit. Then another one came over, and the guy's trying to push them away. He's not hitting them. And another one came over and started as well on the same person. And then the third one came over, and you saw them push this person down onto the floor. And then they kind of went behind a wall, and you couldn't see him anymore. Someone was filming all this out of a window. Just a normal person. You see what I mean? This isn't something that's against an institution or perhaps businesses that make a lot of money. They are targeting businesses, but cars, people's cars, not Bentleys and Rolls Royces and things like that. Anyone's car that is parked in the street, they were smashing up. It's just mindless. Shop windows, not just your Tesco and your Sainsbury's and your Comets, not just the chains, but there were little shops in Ealing, charity shops that had their windows smashed. It was anyone, and that's why I don't understand what's going on here. It's like people have gone mad. Not just a handful, hundreds, thousands of people have gone mad in London and outside of London as well. Let me tell you, when I left at 10:30 on a Monday night, I thought to myself, well, I've got all this gear to load in my car now, what's going to happen to me? Fortunately, there wasn't anyone in that area, and I went straight round the roundabout and back out down the motorway as quickly as I could. The question is, what do you think, wherever you are in the world, would this sort of thing stop you coming to London? Bear in mind, we've never seen anything like this. I'm hoping that it comes under control quickly. There was a lady on the news today, though, in my mind, we should send the army in. We should use water cannons like they do in some countries. They wouldn't do it if they were sprayed with water. You'd be surprised what a little bit of water can do. But this woman on the telly, she came on, can't remember her name now, because it possibly Theresa Gorman, can't remember, it might have been her. And this was mentioned to her, and she says, "Oh no, we can't do that. We've got to make it so that the police are in charge." And I'm like, well, they're doing the best they can. Don't blame the police for not doing the best they can, because they are. But she doesn't want to send in the army. If you've got any thoughts on this, I'll be pleased to hear them. Get your emails in. The name is email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Terrible, terrible times in the city I was brought up with. Never seen anything like it in my life. People smashing, literally, you could on the videos, you saw them walking along, smashing in a window, walking into a shop and walking out with a plasma television. There was another one I remember, a little film on the television, where they broke into a Ladbrokes, which is a betting shop here in the UK, in Clapham, and there were 3 of them trying to rip this plasma screen off the wall in there. So much damage, so much violence, and I'm disappointed. Disappointed that this is happening in a country that I love. Thousands of people doing it, though. A lot of youngsters. It's so easy, isn't it, to keep in touch by telephone, by Twitter, by Facebook, by email? How many messages are you going backwards and forwards telling people where to go next to create the next amount of trouble? Is it too much of a thing to do, do you think, to perhaps turn off the internet and the mobile phones at night for a period of time until this all passes? Your thoughts, please. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I was going to show you today a video made by Zach in Australia. He's started doing his own video blogs. I'm going to save that till tomorrow now, okay? So if you please, any comments on that at all. I'm just saddened by the whole thing. What do I think? I think we should round them all up. Round them all up and put them on community service and treat them badly. I'm sick to death of hearing people talking about human rights. We'll wait for a few of those to come out now. You know, oh, it's my human right for me not to be in prison. All that old crap that comes from the European Union. I'm sick to death of people screaming human rights whenever they're in trouble. Listen, if you break the law, you've got no human rights. You should be shoved in prison and left there to rot as far as I'm concerned. Email me, let me know your thoughts. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Zach, I'll play your video out tomorrow. Okay, thanks very much for watching and listening. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com Chris Reardon UK, youtube.com Chris Reardon UK. And don't forget, you can always catch up on any of the other videos perhaps or shows that you've missed. Simply go to the main site for this show, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on the next show. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.